Hey everybody, and welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm honest, Jack-o'-lantern still in Lake Jackson, and it's the week before Halloween, so we're going to do some interesting stuff, and I got a pumpkin, so that's cool. Before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, ring the little notification bell in that quarter, get notification when we do this as close to Tuesdays and Fridays as possible. I've been doing a lot of Wednesdays because I've been crazy busy on Monday and Tuesday, so I apologize for that. And we have a small link down the doobly-doo that's got our merch stuff in it. So we got spoons, clipper, spatula, the fake hands, and pot holders, and our apron, which I'm not wearing because I'm celebrating Halloween in the intros and outros today. But they're all in there. Very cool. We're small businesses. Enough of that. Let's just get into the food. These are going to be good.
Alright, this is a nice simple one. You're going to need a pumpkin. There's a recipe called for two. Make sure it's a real one. Don't brag about how light your pumpkin is, only to cut into it, find it styrofoam. Get you some olive oil, just a little bit. You're going to need about a quarter cup or an eighth of a cup. Whatever you're going to dress it with. Now, you can use seasoned salt. I like to slap your mama stuff. Some people just use like regular salt and pepper stuff. I've heard that there's sweet ones, but I just don't know how. You're going to need some colanders and pots and stuff. We'll get into those. First thing, get your colander, get it stabbed by, and here's your pumpkin. You got to get into it. So get you a nice sharp knife. This is one of mine. And you're going to cut a ring around the top here. Okay? So just stab into it. And if you're a true con fan, and you're done decorating your pumpkin. Ta-da! So just you got to wedge this out. You got to be careful. Serrated might work, but I wouldn't want to take my bread to this. Be sure to put it at an angle here. And this is going to take a little while. This is kind of tough to cut. So remember, when you're cutting around, instead of going straight up and down, you want to kind of do it at an angle. That way the lid will stay back on. Well, that's if you're going to cut it back up. You're going to cut it up for like pumpkin pie, like Ann does. Or if you're just cutting this to just get this out and do whatever. Cut it however you want. You can just cut it in half with a chainsaw if you feel like it. But you just cut it in an edge right here, and then just wrap the top out, just like Kalima. Just go Indiana Jones on it. Pull it off. Feel like you're scalping a damn thing, and just pull the top out. Now you're trying to get those seeds. The seeds hang from the inside, so be careful. But just take a knife and cut the top off. Right there. I just sliced it off that way. I left it as a lid, as a cork. Traditional, set it to the side. Now it's the gross part. You're just going to reach in here with your bare hands and grab all the pumpkin guts. Just blah. And it's the one part I hated doing as a kid, mostly just because it took forever. Just pull that all out and set it to the side. We'll sort it through the stuff in it later. Now, this is really gunky. Again, I absolutely hated this part as a kid, but you want to pull out the seeds. You look out, there's a lot of seeds sitting at the bottom already. Keep an eye out for deformed ones or ones that are already growing. Also, you need something to listen to, so I'm listening to the Neebs guys doing their, 7 days, and watching that. So get you a spoon. You can get in here and scrape all this out. Get it to the side. Get it decent. Get it to the side again. Don't really need that unless you're going to carve it. Now the rest of it you got to get in here and separate the gunk from the seeds. Now the gunk you can set to the side. You can use it for just about a lot of stuff. I know some people mix it in with like animal feeds and whatever. There's probably some kind of puree you can make out of it, but it's stringy and it's gross and it's goopy. So I just set it aside and eventually get rid of it because I can't figure out what I'm going to do. Put it in a colander. You're going to go wash this. You're going to try to get all your pumpkin bits out. While you're going to do that, you're going to get you about half a pot of water and start that pretty high because you want it to come to a boil while you're doing that. Just get it just super hot. Just boil the thing. Boil, stupid thing. So here you get your seeds. You've got to rinse. You got most of the orange stuff of it off. Your water is decently boiling. You don't want to just angrily rolling boiling. You want to turn it down to about medium high. Let it sit for about 10 minutes. Careful. That water was hot, and I stuck my hand directly in it because I have a problem with object permanence, apparently. So after 10 minutes, it's kind of cooking down. You can kind of see here, kill the heat, pull it off. Again, I'm using my patent Living Between Paychecks kitchen spatula to stir these around. Let those sit. We're going to go strain those and put them in a bowl and set them to the side as well. Make sure you get them all out of there. Remember, these are still hot, and I'm still an idiot. Now, while they're sitting there and you're preheating your oven to 350, you want to go ahead and just add, like I said, maybe an eighth of a cup here. Just enough to get them nice and coated. This is from one pumpkin. If you're doing multiples, add a little bit more. But you don't want it sitting on the bottom, but you want it coated. Oh, so like I said, coat your oven. Coat your oven. You want to preheat your oven to 350, okay? And while that's preheating, get you they say use a cookie sheet, but I want something with some sides on it, and then just throw your oil-covered seeds in here and kind of pat them out. You don't want them stacked up on each other. You kind of mushing them around. I found patting them on the top kind of made them scoot out themselves when that completely coated. And then whatever you're going to dress them with, like I said, I'm doing the Slap Your Mama. Tony Sachery's is another good one. Let me know what you're using, man. I'd really like to get into that. But once you got that in there, you got it nice and stirred, and your oven is preheated to 350 again. Some people, get mad that I don't mention it. Put it in there. Now we're going to pull it out every 10 minutes, okay? Stir them around and then put them back in, because you don't want them to stick. They'll cook on one side. So while we're doing that, I'm just going to carve this pumpkin, man. Basically, I'm just patting the thing. So yeah, carving pumpkins was one of my favorite things as a kid, man. This is where I get to act like every other cooking show and sit and tell you a story while we're waiting on something. But it's 40 minutes worth of seed cooking, so I got to pad that out. So let's talk about pumpkin carving. Like I was saying, as a kid, absolutely loved carving it. My stepmom had a thing about trying to get like the biggest pumpkins, so we were getting like 80 and 100-pound monsters. So cleaning the hell out of those, like you almost needed a shovel and a small expedition to go inside and clean those out. And they lasted so long. We put them outside. We had critters. We lived out in the sticks. So you expect something to run in the yard and eat the damn thing, but they lasted until like March and April. It's just kind of big goopy piles of pumpkin out front. It's not like the winter came and froze anything. We're down here on the Gulf Coast. But I always enjoyed putting the faces on them. Mom used to do like some really cool stuff with hers. She'd carve some stuff on the back, and then it would make like lights on the trailer or against the house, the apartment we're in or whatever. So I'm just going to do like a traditional one. I used to like doing like the fangs. I always put the fangs in it. And then I don't know if it's just this weird mental thing, but the smell of a candle inside a pumpkin, it's like burning the top of it, getting that soot all over it. It's a throwback to the kid. I always loved Halloween. I still do. I'm 43 now, but I love Halloween. But it was one of my favorite things as a kid. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was like the first big holiday once you get to school kind of deal. So, it gave me that bit of nostalgia or what. But, the spooky Halloween stuff I do pretty much year-round. So it's not like I don't get to enjoy that the rest of the year. I made little bitty eyes on my pumpkin, whatever. But, all right. And then I guess the Let's Just Leave Halloween makes me a giant fan of that, too. But I've always enjoyed carving the pumpkins, man. And I haven't for a while since I got sick. And I'm not the only one that ever did this, right? Put the pieces back in after you carved it. Alright, so you pull these out, you keep turning them over every 10 minutes. 30 to 40 minutes is when you want to cook them. You don't want them to brown, you just want them deeper yellow. I found the easiest way is to kind of stir them in here. After the second time, the oil is kind of absorbed and or cooked or evaporated, so it starts getting that scratchy roasted sound to it instead of just gooped. This is the fourth time. I skipped the third because I just didn't want to bore you all with that. So yeah, pull those out, kill your oven, you're good to go. Let them rest. Don't grab them right out of the oven. They're hot. Again, you can add a little more seasoning now. I think I might have put too much, made them a little too salty, but just the dose at the beginning when they baked with really helps. It sticks to it really well. But if you don't think so, add some here. Taste it first. Don't just go throwing them in there. But yeah, this is like tried and true favorite of many, many people. I remember growing up, my idiot stepbrother was all about it. He enjoyed it, but we cooked them. I was never a big fan. I never even bought them. I was a sunflower seed kid. You kind of had to pick the two. So these worked out really well. You can bag these up. These hold up really well. Keep them in a sealed jar, and you got to enjoy them and try these, man. Tell me if you do it differently. Seriously.
And there you have it, folks. It worked out. This is great. I tried them when I was younger. I wasn't a fan of them because I guess they weren't seasoned, really. Maybe just salt or something because family didn't do spicy stuff. But this turned out really well. If you do it differently, want me to do it differently, I'll revisit this, man. Let me know. Put it down in the comments. That's what they're there for. I'll revisit this. Try this. I'd love to try like a sweet one. So if you got a good like sweet recipe for pumpkin seeds, let me know. I always want to do more pumpkin stuff. I haven't carved a pumpkin in a while, so that's why I keep touching over here. Touching Jerry, named by my Letty, Square Letty. So that's Jerry the Pumpkin. Y'all enjoy your Halloween. Always just reach out and let us know about any kind of food stuff, recipes, or what you think about us, or how horrible we are at our jobs. You can find us at all the social media stuff, Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're all those that live between Paycheck's Kitchen. We're on Instagram too at Living Between. We had to shorten it down over there. I'm on all of those as Osway Nerdy, including Twitter. I refuse to call it X, and over on TikTok, which usually just talking nerds, action figures, and miniature painting stuff on most of my stuff. But the rest is all the cooking stuff. So I'll see y'all next time. If I don't see you by then, happy Halloween, and y'all be safe.